yet. My name is Luky. I am UI UX designer at Flixbus. I am focused more on doing user experience. Means that I initiate and facilitate research, talking to our customers and gather insights from them in order to improve our product to be better. So I'm going to talk about starting UX in Flixbus. What does it mean? It's about a journey to integrate user-centric approach in the product development. First of all, I would like to ask in the audience, who are you? Are UI UX designers? Could you please raise your hands? Okay, not so many. And front-end developers? Yeah. Full stack. And others, maybe product owners or... Okay. Scrum Master? Only one. All right, so let's start. Before, I would like to explain to you a little bit about myself, like introduce myself. I used to be a visual designer, like in my career, but now I shifted to UX designer. And as I mentioned before, I do UX design and research. And I try to always have provide the better practices, the best practices of user experience within the whole product. And what I learned is that UX is not only a discipline, but it's a user-centric mindset. So in order to create a product that is useful and desirable, we need to have this research, design, testing, and implementation. And this is what actually said by also our principal of engineering in Flixbus. So the agenda for today is that, as I mentioned before, I'm pretty new to this topic as a UX designer, and also to understand better where is it Flixbus at the moment, how mature, what is the status quo of UX in the organization, and what are the challenges, and how do we tackle those challenges. So UX in Flixbus. Why good UX matters. So I'm gonna share you a little bit of my experience that I have in a hotel here in Kharkiv. It's about the door. So when I arrived in the hotel, I went to the bathroom and I take shower and stuff. And then when I went to go out of the bathroom, I couldn't because I think that before that, I want to ask you guys, what is like you think this door should be open? Slide? All right, that's what I did, but it didn't work. So I tried to pull so hard, like try to slide it, but I thought that I was like locked in the bathroom, like for a few seconds. Oh shit, I am locked here. And then I tried to do other ways. And I will explain to you later. So, yeah, it's slide, right? So I think like maybe it's just me. Am I being that stupid to be able to open the door? But then I posted in Instagram and I asked my friends, what do you think? And they said, okay, it's not me. It's not only me who has this problem. So, yeah. So 90%. Think that it should be slide, but this is how it actually works. I should pull it, which just doesn't make sense to me because like the visual hint there, the doorknob doesn't look like it should be pulled. So this is one of the example of how bad user experience could make your life harder. And this is another example of, do you know this maybe? Yes, it's a false alarm from the Hawaii. It's happened like a year ago. So people in Hawaii started to receive message that there will be like a missile attack in Hawaii because someone apparently pushed the wrong button. So here you can see, actually this is what they need to click, but they click this one, which means that it will inform everyone in Hawaii that there will be a missile attack. So it's like, it could be like a disaster because you give wrong information. Well, actually, this could be somehow more thought through. to avoid this kind of disasters, we try to have this framework in order to have a good practices of user experience. First is the research, and then the design, like we create a prototype, how the design concept should look like, and then we implement, we send it to developers in order to build it, and then we measure the impact of the design. This process is, this framework is something that at least we try to follow in order to create a product or feature that is useful and desirable also for users. And we are working in a product development team, and these are the three main actors there. We have the product owners who knows what is viable in terms of business, and UX designers who knows what is desirable and useful for users, and also engineering or developers who knows what is visible and what's not in terms of technology. And these actors need to collaborate in order to create or deliver a great user experience. If the user experience is not thought through, this could potentially happen. So we could potentially build a product that people don't need, or the product is going to be failed. Or we have 40 to 50% of developers' time spent to just fixing things instead of having like a value-added work in the beginning. And by investing in good UX means that it could help you provide an environment where developers have a better product requirement that has already been tested with users. So why good UX design is important? It helps the team to work more efficiently and productively, and of course, because of the development process, the software development process is expensive, so it helps to decrease development time and costs. And if you create a great product, means that people who use it will refer it to their friends, means that they will have to trust with you as a brand, as a product and a service, and of course, gain revenue. So where are we? Where is UX in Flixbus? This is the UX maturity stage in the organization. This one is the absence of UX, means that there's no UX in the organization, and I would see that people would say this, yes, I work in a company where the boss think that they know what the users need, so they don't need designers basically, so I don't know why I'm here. And the awareness part is UX seen as aesthetic, so there is actually a UI/UX designer, but there's no process there to research. Like a UX process is not integrated into the product development cycle. And the stage 3 is more mature, they have like a more formalized process of UX, but it's still not clear. Where is it, is the research happening before or is it after? So it's still not clear there. And the maturing phase is that people see the needs of research or UX. So they would ask us like, hey, what do users think about this? Or hey, let's do user testing first. And the last stage is integrated. UX is becoming a part of a global strategy, and we'll see like the top management has advocation for UX itself. And how ready is Flixbus with UX at the moment? Of course, we have passed this absence of UX, but I would say that we are now in the transition between the second and the third. So let's go into more details into this stage that we are at the moment. The criteria is that UX is present but uninvolved in a product lifecycle after coding, and UX is seen as aesthetic. So people would come to you and say, "Hey, can you do UX for me?" But what they meant is like, "Can you make things look nice or pretty?" There's a limited understanding of UX capabilities, and the challenges are: we don't have time to invest in the process. Let's just ship something and fix it later. I mean, it happens all the time. They want to do some quick and dirty solution where we actually not involved in the process. And the misinterpretation of UX as a role. So when people say, as I said, do UX for me, means that can you make things look nice? Can you make things look pretty? And people come to us with already like a solution. Let's do a pop-up here, or let's do this button in gray or green or something, instead of having a problem statement. Like, hey, we have very low conversion rate here, what can we do about it? And when it comes to design decision, we know that in the team, people always have different opinions or different assumptions. And the product owners say, hey, let's do the button in red. And then the designers say, no, let's do it in orange. And then the developer said, let's do it in blue or something. And with different assumptions, like in the end, people would say like, okay, let's just A/B test it and see which one works better. But actually, it's not the right thing if we only rely on A/B tests, because it means that we will lacking the gaining of understanding what is actually users really need. So how do we tackle those challenges? User testing. Testing your website with just 5 users can actually help you define 85% of your website problems. And talking about assumptions, this is an example that I took from a movie called White Men Can Jump. So the girl was telling to the guy, honey, I'm thirsty. And then the guy came to her, like brought her a glass of water. And she was like saying, if I'm thirsty, I don't need a glass of water. I just need your sympathy. So if you think that you know your users, what your users need, think again. So how do we actually test our assumptions? Like not to rely only on assumptions. So we have this user lab. It's I would say like event where we could show our prototype to our customers. We invite them to our office, and then we ask them to interact with our product and see how they interact and how they behave towards it. And yeah, and what is the benefit from the user testing? We could find some usability problems. As you can see here, this is like a card or like something that is actually clickable, that the design and the prototype is actually clickable, but no one is clicking on this. So it means that there's something needs to be fixed. So we improve it by adding the arrow here that indicates the user that they could click it. So from this, we will have a better product requirements for the team in order to move forward. And the other thing is that always share your testing result. So this is a very effective way. We did the recording of the session. So we record how our users, how they react to the prototype, and we show this to the stakeholders, product owners. It's really helpful to see that there's a proof there, and also to write a blog post or like wiki page about your findings. Okay, now stage 3. In this stage 3, UX is a formalized process. There is a formalized process of UX, but it's still not consistent. But a UX person is seen as influencer, means that they could have like recommendation or like giving decision of something. And the strategy is always tie to KPIs. For this is the example of the booking mass that we have. And the KPIs here is the progression rate. Means that after this page, you go to another page, which is the search result. And we change this font weight like to be more bolder, and we see that actually it brings 1,000 sessions more in 2 weeks. So this is how we kind of measure the impact of the design. And then socializing like segmentation and personas. So we have the personas. Any one of you knows what persona is? Okay, so yeah, the persona is like the target group of users that we have, that we are designing for. And I did this workshop last time with one team that consists of product owner and developers. I asked them to play a role of this personas that we have. So each of them took a card and they need to explain what is their character is. And then when it comes to one feature, they try to explain how they react, how they use this feature. So this way we understand what the users really need. So this workshop was meant to to build the empathy within the team, so they know who are they creating the product for. And the result is, this is the feature that we test. It's about where's my bus feature. And this feature is about you can find information about your bus status, if it's delay or on time. And the problem that is identified is when we, the customers actually don't think to go to the website to find this information. They don't try to find it in the website. Instead, they're hoping for Flixbus to send them email or SMS about their bus status. So it means that this might not be useful for users if they don't know there is there. So the improvement is that emphasizing on communicating this feature better. And this is something that our developers, our team realized there, and this is what their takeaways. I didn't realize the problem after I attended this workshop. Looks like we've spent so much time to create something that no one will use. This is something that our developer said. And it's shocking how little we know about our customers. I can understand the diversity of the customers. It's very challenging to find standardized ways to serve all the customers' needs. So I would say it's pretty impactful of how you try to build empathy within the team. So what's next? We are still kind of like doing efforts to conduct more usability tests or user testing in order to jump into the next stage, which I would say, not to be too optimistic, it would take us like 1 year, hopefully, to get there, hopefully. And yeah, I will close this with a quote. Creating truly great product requires an entire product team to place the needs of the users foremost when making product decisions, or even better, a user-centered culture. So user experience is not just only responsible of one person, but it's responsible for all of the team. So if you want to go fast, you go alone. If you want to go far, you go together. Thank you.
For talk, I just want to say thanks for your mobile application UX. It's really good. I tested it and UX was really nice. So yeah, from questions. When did you start first time user interviews? Is it how? So
how did I start? How did we start? So I joined Flixbus in April 2017. So it's like roughly 1 year, and we started. Talking to customers. We did it like we went to the bus station already before, in guerrilla. I would say like guerrilla research. So we went to the station and we met our customers there. Whenever we have something that needs to be tested, we went there and talked to them. But we found that it's not the best way to do, because you basically meet random people there that not like your target group of users that you want to test. For example, if you want to test something like Android, but you don't actually the people that you're approaching is like using iOS, so it doesn't make sense, right? So that's one of the examples. But so we start to have our own user lab. So we try to have more proper setup of environment. We invite our customers to our office and interviewing them there. And we did it like roughly 1 year ago, 8 months ago maybe. And yeah, we start to have like more proper setup till then, and we keep on doing that continuously.
Thank you for your speech. How do you encourage your customers to go to your lab?
To your lab? Okay. So we did our own recruiting of our customers. So we have our own database of customers, and then we get this data from the, I think, data scientist or BI. And then afterwards, we because we have this information about how many times they travel with Flixbus and also their demographic, we filter them based on those, and then we send a screener questionnaire. So we create a screener questionnaire in order to filter out those users, and then we send this survey into their email. and they need to give consent, at least like to fill in the questionnaire, and from there we receive back the result, and then we filter again, and we invite them to our office. So we send them email, hey, congratulations, you have been selected to be a part of the user lab. So yeah, then we invited them, and normally it's like one session would be like five customers.
One more. Do you provide some incentives for them?
Yeah.
What sort of secret?
Do you think we can say it or not?
Sure.
I mean, we are like transparent, so yeah, we gave them, because we want them to experience our product, so we gave them a Flixbus voucher, like free ride with Flixbus, basically. And a mug, and a very beautiful mug.
Limited edition.
Limited edition mug. Yeah.
Handmade.
Thank you. Yes?
Do you employ some external company to make service?
To make which service, sorry?
Maybe you work with some other company to make questionnaire of yours.
No, we did it ourselves at first. Yeah.
Do you plan to do this?
Yes. Because we found out that it might be like, we invest some time to do that, the recruiting part, and then creating the screener survey. So we start to go into that direction to have an agency to do it for us.
Have you found some candidates to this? Some company?
Yeah.
What kind of company?
It's a research company. I mean, they do it. It's like really common. They do it for like research. Other companies, like helping them to recruit the customers and create a screener survey as well, and facilitate. They also have the facilitation of the place. Yeah, so they have like multiple services for that.
What is the name of this company?
I couldn't remember. I have to check, but it's like a German company, I think. But I also have like other some website that I might recommend. It's called Respondent.io. Whenever I go through like articles of the designers that are doing this, they use this to recruit customers. They use this website.
Thank you.
You want to send you a CV?
What do you mean?
Do you use any sort of feedback forms on your website or in the app for users? And so, how useful they are?
Yes, we have this Net Promoter Score that we include in the funnel of the website, and so we ask them questions like how is the experience using our product, and we get this. Actually, it's not us who's doing that, because we have this I think market research or some marketing who's doing this NPS.
WebTrack is doing it.
Yeah, WebTrack is actually doing that, and yeah, we get this information from them, like how is the feedback from the users.
And how useful?
Sorry?
How useful?
Oh, it's very useful. Yeah. Yeah, we use that. If we get a like negative feedback, of course we need to improve something, and we take that as like, let's say, like quantitative results of how impactful our design is, and yeah.
But it's not so high qualified answers, because the user can answer this form, and how do you get rid of all this kind of very strange answers? Because I think that there are a lot.
Yeah.
Maybe I can
Yeah, okay.
answer this one. So the good part is here that we don't have to review it ourselves. So we have the WebTrack team that already filters out like the irrelevant things. So we already only get the valuable input. And it's very good because you can see repeating things that people refer to the same issue. So you feel like, okay, you can easily build a priority. Obviously, a lot of people have the same problem. And that's very helpful.
Right.
I think she first. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, since user testing costs some money, you probably know exactly how much it costs, because you always have 5 people and you pay with the market something, so you can calculate the price. But it's quite expensive, I guess, if you run it often. And how do you define which UI and UX issues should worth testing? How do you evaluate before testing itself?
So we try to always align with the roadmap of the product owners. So basically, they always have to plan what they want to do. So we know their priority, right? So based on that, we have this research. So it always aligns with what product owners are doing and the time.